Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to take a look at all field de saison. But before that, this video is brought to you by Chad Bergman and Jolly Rancher Gaming. Thank you for being Farm Baron. Now this is a French map, and as such, my French is horrific, so I very likely butchered that name, but you know what? You're just going to have to forgive me on that. This map can be found over at kingmods.net, and I will have a link to that down in the description. I'm also going to have a link to the map author's YouTube video that goes over this particular map, because I've confirmed that this is indeed uploaded by the original map author to kingmods.net. Now, in general, I am not a fan of kingmods.net, nor am I a fan of really any other mod hub site other than the official mod hub site at farmingsimulator.com, the Giants official mod hub site, because it is extremely difficult sometimes to pin down, is a mod or a map on a particular site actually placed there by the author, or is it simply placed there by a bot that went around and scoured the web and tried to obtain every single mod and map possible in order to get more money for the map, not the map author, for the site owner of these particular mod sites. And that's why I don't like these sites at all. But in keeping with Gizmo Modding's true intent of placing this on this site for everyone to enjoy, I am going to be showing this map off and linking to kingmods.net, because I have done my best effort in confirming that this is indeed uploaded by the map author to this site on their own accord. Now, this map is approximately 1/9 the size of a standard map. It's a pretty small map, so it's going to be ideal for people who are looking to play with small machinery. On this map, you're going to find 66 fields, including 6 pastures that range in size from 0.1 to 2 hectares in size. The background map, which is described here as being owned by you, is going to be the unbuyable land, or what I have typically called the unbuyable land. It's going to include the roads, the river, the area around, all of the fields, as well as the town, the sell points, and the production land, etc. This map includes one fully functional farm that you own at the start. That includes cows and chickens. And in addition, there are 3 other farm areas that you could possibly purchase that are listed as abandoned farms. They have a few buildings which you cannot remove, and then a little bit of space where you could put other things down. There are various production and sell points on this map, including 1 vehicle dealer, a animal dealer, and a buyable lime station. This map includes standard FS25 crops, and there is a little notice here by the map author that GPS and AI workers are only going to be active on the fields. They're not going to be available for driving to and from various locations. Now, we are looking at version 1.1. So if you have happened to have downloaded this map prior to that, you will need a new save game in order to start with this version. If you haven't seen this map before and you're interested in playing on it, then note that you can download 1.1 now and not have to worry about too much. This map does include 2 required mods, and we're going to demonstrate how to download this map and the required mods here in a moment, but they are linked right here. Let's go ahead and click on those, and I've got those already up here on these tabs. And then overall, that is pretty much the map, and pretty much over here at kingmods.net. Now, to download this, you do not need to be a member of the site. You need to scroll down and try to ignore all of these various ads, which are literally all over the place. And we're going to look for this giant green download button. We're going to click on this, and it's going to take us over to Share Mods. And we're going to have to wait a few seconds until we get a download link or button. We're going to click on this. If a window pops up, like you just saw here, close it. Do not ever follow a pop-up window from Share Mods. It's going to lead you astray. We're going to click on this again to create download link. No. Create download link. There we go. And then we're going to click on download. Again, if any window pops up, close it. Do not follow it. Do not do anything it says. With respect to the required mods, we have the European style barn. And we're going to scroll down here and find that it is actually linked over to modsfire.com. We're going to click on that. We're going to click on generate link. Once again, if we do happen to get a window pop up, close it. Do not follow it. Do not click on any other link other than this blue download link. And then we're going to click on download, and it should start to download right there. Now we're going to go over here to our manure excavator. Okay. And this one is actually linked over to the official Giants mod hub. Why are they linking to kingmods.net only to eventually land over to Farming Simulator's official mod hub page? I don't know. I would have much preferred them link directly over here to this page, because that's ultimately where we're going to land in order to download this mod, and we're going to click on download. Now, while we're talking about mod sites, I just want to take a moment of our time here and give you my benchmark on mod sites. If a mod site takes, for example, this mod, which is an official mod over at the Giants mod hub site by MA7 Studio. If they link back to this page, great, because that means MA7 Studio is going to get credit for the download. He has 4.6 stars on his rating for this particular mod, and he's got a total of 302 ratings. Anything you download from the official mod hub site, please by all means go in and give it a star rating. That way it will help the map author, because they do get a few cents per 1,000 downloads for their mods that they post here. If, on chance, you find this particular mod linked over at some other random mod site, not kingmods.net, because apparently they are linking back over here to this site, and if you click on download and it downloads directly, then they have stolen this mod from the original mod author. They have basically stolen it from MA7 Studio, because he didn't put that there. I can absolutely guarantee you he didn't put that mod anywhere other than this page, or maybe a page that he operates on his own that he put up maybe before this happened, because none of those other mod sites are going to pay him a dime for the millions of downloads that people are going to try to attempt as far as downloads collectively from the thousands of other random stolen mod hub mod sites that are out there. He's going to get no credit for it, and therefore he's going to be disincentivized to make anything else, because, well, why should he, right? So by all means, go to the official mod hub site, download mods from the official mod hub site. If you see a mod that is listed on the official mod hub site that is somewhere else, do not download it from that other site, because you're simply putting money in someone else's pocket for someone else's work. I don't know if you mind being that I would get money for something you did, and you probably wouldn't like that, right? And that's exactly what all of these particular sites are doing. Now that we have those 3 mods, we're going to put them into our mod folder. We're going to boot up the game. We're going to activate those 2 mods and this particular map. And now we land in here right at this very point. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA itself. So you can see this is a small map. As I mentioned earlier, if we scroll all the way out and we come over here to our farmlands screen, well, we can see the green square here of what a standard size map would look like. And then we kind of try to superimpose and tile this across. And that's where I think we're going to get about 9 different maps to fill up a standard map area. So I'm going to call this map 1/9 a standard map. Now this map is available for PC players only, because again, it is available over at kingmods.net. It is not available over at the official Giants mod hub site, and that is the only way that's going to be available for console players. With respect to our farms, we start up by owning farmland ID 66. This is the main starting farm. In any alternate game mode where you don't own the farm at the start, you're going to be able to buy it for $95,560. As I mentioned, it includes cows and sheep. We also have a greenhouse on this particular map. Then we have farmland ID 67. This is going to be a starting farm, one of the abandoned farms, I should say. We can buy it for $103,080. We also have a buyable farm at farmland ID 68 for $104,220. And the 4th farm available on this map is farmland ID 69 for $124,800. $860. With respect to sell points, well, we have 5 sell points available on the map. We have a Grain River Silo just north of Field 4. We have a small farmer's kiosk right by where we start our new map play on. We have a farmer's market just south of Field 11. On the other side of the river, we have a biomass heating plant, and then we also have the Grain Barge Terminal 2. This map does include a barge. We're going to find the barge located somewhere around this area, and we'll see that when we get around to the drive around or the fly around portion of this particular map. With respect to our crop counter, we do have the standard crop counter available to us in FS25 available on this map. It'll be quite interesting to see when and how we get any custom crop counters, if that ever happens. With respect to our animals, well, we start out with 3 water buffalo, as well as 12 cows in the starting animal pen on the main farm. And we also start out with 19 chickens and 1 rooster on that animal farm. With respect to contracts, we do have contracts available on this map. And with respect to our production chains, we start out by owning 1 large greenhouse, again available on that starting farm. And then we have pre-placed on this map a dairy, a grain mill, an oil mill, preserved food factory, and spinnery. With respect to our starting vehicles, we start out with the APE 50, the little old truck. Then we have the ABI 550 water tanker. We have pallet forks. We also have the AgriStar 8.31 tractor. We have the FarmTech EDK 650 trailer. We have the Credo 3. This is going to be a subsoiler, I believe. We also have the Versa 3. This is going to be a planter. We have the Hardy Mega 1200L sprayer. The Hauer XB 150 for our front loader. We have the John Deere 3650. We also have a forklift. We have the GA 4731 windrower and the RA 142 TMR mixer. We have the Echo Cultivator 300, as well as the Speed Max 560 mulcher. We have the power washer. We have the Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester, header, and header trailer. We have the small Pottinger Servo 25 plow. We have a 1,000 kilogram front weight. We have the Simez XT390 side mower, as well as another 750 kilogram front weight. We do not own any hand tools, and this map does not have any collectibles. Now here at our starting point, as I mentioned, we do have a farmer's market located here. And we have our little pickup truck. We're going to call it a little pickup truck. And I don't think we're going to drive this over to the farm. But I do want to drive it over here to the barge landing, just so you can kind of see where the barge is. And there we go, we're right here to our barge landing, and at the barge landing we have our lime silo. Now I'm just going to quickly tab over to our starting farm. And now that we're over here at our starting farm, let's go ahead and pull up the map again, show you all where we are. So we're now located over here. We started at this location. We drove down to our barge area. I tapped into the forklift, which is located right up here, where we have an oil mill and a grain mill. And then we tabbed down here into our harvester and our John Deere tractor. So we are staring directly at our farmhouse. So we have our sleep trigger. We have our wardrobe trigger there. We have our greenhouse Right, so we have our water point, our interactive point, and our pallet point. There are 3 buildings on the starting farm which cannot be sold. They include this structure right here, where our tractors are stored. This structure over here, where our machinery has been placed. And then this structure over here, where we have the rest of our machinery and our chickens. Everything else on the starting farm can be sold except for these 3 structures. So we have our base game chicken coop. We have a base game silo with 2 silo extensions located right here. And we do start out with some items in our silo. We start out with 8,000 liters worth of canola, long grain rice, soybeans, sunflowers, and wheat. We have our cow pasture located right here with our water buffalo and our cows. We're going to have a total of 40 animals in this particular pen, of which we have 15 now. We have our milk trigger. We have our slurry point. Right, we're going to have our food and straw triggers inside of here. And then we have the placeable manure heap located right here on the outside. We do have a pull-through silage bunker located right here. And then we have a couple other sheds. Now these sheds can be sold. I was hoping we could get out from the other side there. The farmhouse can be sold. And then we have our storage shed here with our harvester in it. This would also make a great storage shed for hay bales, although this is not the bale storage shed itself. And then here we go. We've got a couple fields. Now these aren't owned by us. Our starting fields are actually located down the road a little bit. Come back here, you can see that we start out by owning field 46 and 35, as well as field 8 on the other side of the barge. So from the aerial perspective, here we have our starting farm once again. And we are going to just kind of make our way to the 3 other farms. So just kind of to the south of our starting farm at farmland ID 67, we have the first of the abandoned farms. Now all of these buildings are going to be permanently placed here on this map. So even if you own this land, you're not going to be able to sell any of these particular sheds or the farmhouse, which does not have a sleep trigger. So you'll have to put your own sleep trigger down for this particular abandoned farm. Now, directly to the west of that farm, well, we're going to find a second abandoned farm located right here, farmland ID 68. A bit more placeable area, less sheds to work with that we can't basically modify. And then across the river and across the barge area, which again is going to be located right there, we have the third and final abandoned farm located here at farmland ID 69. If we look off in the distance, there is our starting farm. There's farmland ID 67, 68, and then 69. And then the bulk of the town, well, it's going to be located here on the northern side of the river. This is where we're going to find our various sell points and most of our production points. So here we have one of our sell points. This is going to be the Grain River Silo. And then directly past that, we're going to have our dairy production. Inside here, this is where we started. We have our small farmers kiosk located right there. And this is going to be the farmers market sell point. We have a grain mill production. We have our oil mill production. And then this is going to be our vehicle dealer. So we have our dealer trigger located right here. And then in order to buy our machinery, well, we're going to have to come inside the dealer here. And talk to Sir Kloss. And this is where we're going to find our vehicle trigger. Let's go ahead and just lease another one of these just to see where the vehicle spawns at. And as soon as we... Oh. We have a different sales associate now. I guess Kloss is busy setting up our account. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing? So once we buy from the shop, we're basically teleported outside. Then we have our spawn point for our vehicles. Now, I will say, it is not a reflection on this map when I was having difficulty getting into the building and getting to the shop trigger. It is a reflection on flight mode that is currently, in my opinion, set up wrong in Farm Sim 25, where just because I want to engage flight, I don't want to engage super walking speed either. So if I have flight mode enabled, then I move around a lot faster than I want to. And as a result, I find it sometimes difficult to get around in narrow spaces. With flight mode now re-enabled, well, we can get around a little bit better. On the other side of the river, we have our grain barge terminal sell point. We also have our biomass heating plant sell point. We have our preserved food factory. And we have our diesel station. And we come back over here, and here we have our starting farm. So again, this is a very small map. I think it's a great map for someone who is looking to get into small machinery and use lower horsepower machinery as well. This is going to be our spinnery sell point. And that should be our final production point. The fields overall are fairly flat. The land is fairly flat. There's a couple, undulations here and there, subtle hills on the fields, but nothing great. So I don't think you're going to need anything big as far as horsepower to operate any of the machinery that you might want to use on this map. If you're looking for some small casual playthrough, well, then this map might be right up your alley because you're going to be able to handle most of these fields fairly quick. Even with medium-sized machinery, just a few minutes, you're going to be done. And if you only have a few minutes of gameplay on any one particular sitting, then this, again, might be the perfect map for you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this particular map. And until next time, happy farming.